What's good, YouTube, man? It's your boy Coco here, back with another banger for y'all boys today. Today we're gonna be reacting to should you buy Freedom Wars Remastered, man? It's gonna be the title of my video, but the title that we reacting to is Freedom Wars Remastered: Things You Need to Know Before You Spend $40, man. If y'all enjoy this type of content, be sure to hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. We're on the road to 4,000 subscribers, man. Help us out. But without further ado, man, let's hop right into it. So, just based off the title of the video, we now know that the price is $40. With that being said, the story of this game is not that long. You know what I'm saying? You can probably complete this in about probably like 10, 20 hours, something like that. But if you know these type of games, you don't play for the story, just like Grand Blue Fantasy, just like God Eater. You play for the multiplayer aspect, to get all the weapons, to max out all the weapons, stuff like that, and to fight big ass, gigantic ass monsters. And I'm here for it. Just off the base of my title of my last video, man, y'all already know that I'm super hyped about the video, the game, dog. I played it on the Vita, loved it on the Vita. I can't wait to play it on my PC, dog. I already know that it's gonna be fire. Whoever got PC, add me up. We're gonna be going crazy. Without further ado, man, should you buy Freedom War Remastered? Let's get into it.
How's it going, everyone? 2025 is here, and while there has been a little bit of a lull over the past couple of weeks as far as new game releases, that is about to come to an end, and we are kicking 2025 off with a remaster of a game that I honestly never thought would have been remastered. I still remember when I got the notification on my phone back in September of 2024 when Freedom Wars Remastered was announced. Now, a lot of you guys watching this channel may not be familiar with Freedom Wars. Freedom Wars was a game released on the PlayStation Vita, and it came out back in 2014 in a time where, let's be honest, at that point the PlayStation Vita was really on its last leg. The PlayStation 4 had come out swinging, and it was a gigantic success.
Oh, it's ironic because both of my favorite games from the Vita ended up being ported over to modern consoles. Persona 4 Golden was on the Vita, you know, exclusive for a minute, and that was my first ever Persona game being played, and I loved it. It's still one of my all-time favorite games, dog. Whoever asks me, you know what I'm saying, that's the response I'm gonna give them every single time. Persona 4 Golden, and this was a close second right here. This is a close second right here. Freedom Wars Remastered, I enjoyed my time with it, even though, you know, it wasn't, you know, for the Vita, you know what I'm saying, it wasn't properly optimized, you know what I'm saying. It was input delay here and there, you know what I'm saying. But on modern consoles, you know what I'm saying, it's gonna be, the buttons are gonna be, you know, the trigger's gonna be much more responsive, you know what I'm saying. You're gonna be able to dodge and attack more freely, you know what I'm saying. It's gonna be overall a good time, so I'm definitely looking forward to that.
And it was obvious to see that Sony was putting the bulk of their attention towards the PlayStation 4 rather than continuing to spend money on PlayStation Vita titles. Towards the end of the PlayStation Vita's life, and in that latter stage, we did see these underrated gems come out really throughout the entirety of the PlayStation Vita's life. You can look at a Gravity Rush, a Killzone Mercenary, an Uncharted Golden Abyss, so on and so forth. The Soul Sacrifice, a Unit 13, I could go on.
Soul Sacrifice, again, is another game that I wish I played on the Vita, but I sadly wasn't able to. So I definitely hope that if this game does well, that Soul Sacrifice does make its way to modern consoles, dog, so everybody get to experience it.
But Freedom Wars was one of those games that really stood out to me as a longtime PlayStation Vita fan. An action RPG with a really interesting setting, cool gameplay mechanics. However, it came out, saw a little fanfare on PlayStation Vita for the people still playing games on the Vita, and then it went to the wayside. Well, now, over 10 years later, Freedom Wars is back, and it's coming to modern platforms, refined and remastered with Freedom Wars Remastered. We still don't know a ton of information about the remaster. However, we've got enough where we can talk about it, and it is a remastering of a PS Vita game. They don't have to go absolutely above and beyond. What was there in the PS Vita version was already quite good as an action RPG. As long as they polish it up, and it looks like they are doing that. This will be worthwhile to check out. Some of you guys might be wondering.
Yeah, as long as they polish it up, bro, I feel like this game's going to do fine, bro. Honestly. My PC guys, man, welcome me to the PC club, bro. I told y'all if I got my graphics card, which I did, my 4060, that I was going to buy this game and play it on PC. And I'm excited to announce that I've got it, and I can't wait to play this on PC, bro. I'm super excited, man. I've been hyped for like this past these last couple of days, man, because I being able to play this at a constant 60. I don't need to either play at a 120 frames per second. I don't even need all that. Just give me constant 60, you know what I'm saying? Better refresh rate, you know what I'm saying? I know it's gonna look gorgeous. I know that I'm not gonna play it on mouse and keyboard. I still need my controller. I ain't at the mouse and keyboard level yet, but man, I know PC is gonna be the best version of this game, and I can't wait, bro. I cannot wait.
Wondering what the price point of the game is, because there is no pre-order listing on Steam. There is no listing on PlayStation Store yet for Freedom Wars Remastered as far as the price point is concerned, but on Nintendo Switch and the eShop, while you can pre-order the game, it does have the base game listed at a $39.99 price tag. There is a contribution edition that is priced at $49.99. We'll go over the contents of that edition as well, but as far as
it's not that much as far as like content in the contribution edition. I think it's like maybe like a couple of outfits, and I could be wrong on this. I think it's like a couple of outfits and maybe like some material for your weapons and stuff like that. Maybe a free weapon and some materials and like a health pack and stuff like that. It's not that much, but
price point, it will be $40, which I think is the right price to go with it. Yes, there were times where the Vita version of the game was down to $5, but we're not going to get a game like this for $5, $10, $20. It's going to be around $40. And there's some stuff I do want to go over, and on top of that, I do want to go over some insight that was noted from developers on a potential sequel about the game, which, spoiler alert, could happen if Freedom Wars Remastered sells well enough.
Please, if you are a fan of action JRPGs, man, you need to give this a shot, please. Because if this game does well, bro, there could be potential sequel to this game. And I feel that this game has the potential to do that, but we need y'all to support it. I recommend this to anybody who likes JRPGs, who loves action JRPGs, bro. Give us a shot, and I promise you won't regret it, bro. The story is, you know what I'm saying, average, but it's the gameplay that's gonna keep you coming back for more and more. So, in my opinion, you know what I'm saying. I know if it's fire on the Vita, it's gonna be fire on, you know what I'm saying, PC or whatever platform you play it on, PS5 or PC. It don't really matter. I just know it's gonna go crazy.
Review of the game from Bandai Namco notes this: for the crime of existing, your 1 million year sentence begins today. The game is set in a
That's a fire ass concept too. 1 million years just for existing, and then, oh man, I don't want to spoil too much for those who haven't played it, but y'all gonna see it, and I ain't gonna spoil it. I'm not gonna spoil it.
Dystopian future, the world is ravaged by pollution and depleted of natural resources, and humanity lives in sprawling prison complexes called panopticons. Anyone born into this hellscape are deemed sinners. Players seek their freedom by volunteering for extremely dangerous combat operations to compete with other panopticons for what remains of the planet's dwindling resources. The game's key features note deep character customization. Create a unique look that reflects your style with a vast array of options, from facial features to clothing and accessories. Tailor your weapon loadouts and gear to suit.
Character customization. Change your weapons. You know what I'm saying? Change your lineup. Character customization by itself does already make this game good, because a lot of games don't do that. It's a whole bunch of content for $40, man. Give us a shot. Give it a shot, bro.
Your gameplay preferences stand out in the fight for freedom. Customization, a big core aspect of the game, and certainly going to be one of the elements that you'll sink some time into. Maybe not the level of character customization that you'll see in some of the modern games with super in-depth character creators and whatnot, but still a nice little component to sink your teeth into. An elevated experience. Obviously, with Freedom Wars Remastered, you are going to get some quality of life improvements, and the game is going to be running better than ever. Freedom Wars Remastered brings enhancements such as 4K resolution, upgraded textures, and 60 frames per second performance on PlayStation and PC. On Nintendo Switch, it will be running at lower resolutions, of course, and it will be 30 frames per second. 30 FPS was what the original game ran on the Vita. On top of that, an overhauled weapon crafting system and other gameplay upgrades, as well as added difficulty settings, because Freedom Wars could be a fairly challenging game, but now to fine-tune the difficulty options, I think will be great for those looking for a more accessible experience for a decade.
If you want just play it on normal, dog. I feel like that's gonna be like the best. You know what I'm saying? Because you don't want to make it too easy. Then again, you don't want to make it too hard. But back when it was on Vita, there was no, you know what I'm saying? It was just the standard difficulty. It was just one difficulty, and it was just that, you know. And it was hard. You know, it was hard. But if they improved the game like it was, it should be easier to dodge. It should be easier. You know what I'm saying? To like, you know, the attack should, you know, come more fluidly, you know what I'm saying, with all the quality of life updates and stuff like that. So it should be fine.
Decade removed from the original game, I want a game like this to be as accessible to as many people as possible and have as many quality of life improvements as possible, because ultimately there is a larger audience that this game is going to be marketed towards, given that it's going to be on all major platforms and not just stuck on the Vita. On top of that, you've got improved graphics, bringing environments and characters to life, while refined controls ensure more responsive, intuitive gameplay. Bear in mind that this was a PlayStation Vita title. If you don't know, the PlayStation Vita was around the power in between a PlayStation 2 and a PlayStation 3. That's generally the visual levels that you would see, like just below PS3 games. Games like Uncharted, Golden Abyss, and Killzone Mercenary were certainly pushing what the Vita could do, but ultimately, keep your expectations in line as far as what to expect out of this game from a technical standpoint, especially all these years later. The real drawing card of this game is the in-depth gameplay. And on top of that, with the updated visuals, with the gameplay intact from the core aspect, you will also retain the online functionality of the game, and you'll have the option for exhilarating cooperative battles. Join forces with...
If you got the game on PC, you don't have to worry about paying for online. I don't gotta play no PlayStation Plus to play this. I don't gotta play Xbox Ultimate to play it, you know, online for this. I can just hop on as long as I got a wired connection. I can play it on Wi-Fi, but you know, my PC is always gonna have a hard connection. Just saying, that's one of the benefits of PC.
Up to 7 players in Freedom Wars' co-op mode work together to rescue citizens and take down massive abductors in fast-paced, action-packed missions. With dynamic teamwork and strategy, you'll face ever-evolving challenges that demand skill, coordination, and quick thinking. If you're wondering about the content level of the game, circling back to the original release on the PlayStation Vita, How Long to Beat has the main story around 29 hours. If you're looking for a main...
Yeah, like I said, it's 10-20 hours, you know. It probably added a little bit more, but you know, some of y'all some speed runners anyway, so y'all just gonna breeze through the story. But we gonna enjoy it. We gonna enjoy the game, as well as I'm gonna review the game. You know what I'm saying? Give y'all the, you know what I'm saying, the standard, the best weapons. I think that are the best weapons, but everybody gonna have like they personal preference as far as what to use, what they think is gonna be. You know what I'm saying? A meta or whatever. You know what I'm saying? But overall, we just gonna enjoy the game for what it is. You know what I'm saying? We not gonna make a, you know, make it a big deal as far as like comparing it to like maybe like Monster Hunter or Guide. You know, we just gonna enjoy it for what it is and have a good time. I would hope so.
Sides, that'll bump it up to 42 hours, and completion is all the way up to 74 hours. Yes, this game has a lot of content and optional content for you to sink your teeth into. A lot of replayability options will certainly give you a bang for your buck as well. And if you want to jump into the co-op play, that'll add another layer to the game as well. In an interview with PlayStation Blog Japan, Takashi Tsukamoto, director of the original Freedom Wars at Dibs, as well as the development producer of Freedom Wars Remastered, noted this: we've wanted to make a sequel ever since the game was released 10 years ago, and if you look up some articles and dig up some stuff, it seems like a sequel is something they've wanted to do for a very long time. Ultimately, y'all know how the game is played. Freedom Wars was released on the Vita. It wasn't this great game.
But if they end up making a sequel, and this is just a hypothetical, you know what I'm saying, it's going to be, you know what I'm saying, optimized for all the modern consoles. It's not going to be based off the PS Vita graphics, stuff like that. It's going to be, you know, they're going to have a home on like the PC, the PS5 or whatever, you know what I'm saying? Why are we still making games for PS4 in 2025? Let's just talk about that for a second. You PS4 people shouldn't be getting nothing, Nathan, zero in 2025, dog. I understand the companies, you know what I'm saying, still have an audience on PS4, but if it was up to me, y'all ass wouldn't be getting nothing, Nathan. PS5 came out 5 years ago. You still don't got one? I'm not talking to the kids that can't afford one, or they inherited their parents' console. I'm talking about you know what I'm saying, you know, that y'all feel like y'all entitled to some shit. We got people breaking kids' toys because their girlfriends didn't buy them a PS5. Get y'all bum ass up for work and go get you a motherfucking PS5. Because y'all shouldn't be getting shit as far as new content. That's just me personally.
And megaton success, so a sequel never came to light, but the opportunity never came up. This time we were fortunate enough to have the opportunity, and with Bandai Namco Entertainment producing while we developed, and with it being the 10th anniversary, the timing was right to do something. What I find rather interesting about all of this is I believe Sony had the rights to the Freedom Wars IP, and they actually gave up the IP, from what I understand, to Tsukamoto so they could do this new release. And it is interesting because the game isn't being released on Xbox. I don't know if the game would have been released on Xbox regardless, but it is something to consider given that this was initially a PlayStation Vita exclusive, but it will be available on Switch, PS4, PS5, and PC. It was noted when we received the license from Sony Interactive Entertainment to create a remastered version and we were looking for a publisher, Bandai Namco Entertainment kindly stepped forward and offered to publish. You know, I'm kind of surprised that PlayStation wouldn't come to the table. I feel like if they remastered it in-house and they greenlit a remaster and published it, it just would have been something that would have built a lot of goodwill with their audience. I guess they're more in line with chasing after the live service and Concord bag to be bothered to remaster Freedom Wars themselves and publish a
and that's the problem. Y'all too busy trying to, companies too busy trying to make live service games. They want to scam us out of money and shit. They make these bogus ass skins, these bogus ass battle passes, you know what I'm saying? And not, you know, maintain the gameplay loop to where it could be fun, you know what I'm saying, and competitive. Y'all too busy, you know what I'm saying, want to make profit instead of balance the game out. And that's why they die so quick. Because it's not fun. Gaming is supposed to be fun. Stop it with the live service games. But I know they're not gonna die. They just gonna make another one and rename it something else, bro. But it is what it is.
Freedom Wars Remastered, but hey, what can you do? At least somebody came to the table in Bandai Namco and decided to publish Freedom Wars. And it was noted, and I find this rather interesting, in an interview with IGN. Now, a little bit of a background on the development of the game and the creation of the idea. There's a lot of insightful information in this IGN interview from last year where they talked to Takashi Tsukamoto, and he noted as far as the emphasis of the game and the dystopian vision for Freedom Wars story, noting when the original version came out 10 years ago, there was a thing called My Number in Japan. Similar to the US and Social Security numbers, this was a very new concept in Japan 10 years ago. Citizens of Japan didn't have a Social Security equivalent, and since it was a brand new idea coming up, there were a lot of people who were against it. Like, don't put a number on us. I guess living in a first world country like Japan, they always have your information on hand. You're on file. It's kind of like you're being in constant surveillance. When you're walking around the city, there's cameras everywhere. There's a little bit of a parallel between that and this game. Obviously, we're not in prison, but the idea of being in constant surveillance and people having our information was a very strong concept we wanted to work with when creating this game. In the game, these people are prisoners with million-year sentences. It's not a one-to-one, obviously. I mean, I hope I'm not a prisoner talking about it. Now, that was back in 2014, but to give you guys a little bit of a background where the idea of the game came from. It is a faithful remake, so bear in mind that some of the design choices may be a little bit dated with the game being over a decade old. It visually and from a user accessibility standpoint, a lot of it has been elevated, but the essence of the game still stays intact. And
overall, should you play Freedom Wars Remastered? Yes, 100 times yes. To anybody that's a fan of JRPGs, action JRPGs, you know what I'm saying, that's looking for something new to play. Shit, with all of the games that came out last year, I'm still running through them. You know what I'm saying? What am I playing now? Scarlet Nexus, Final Fantasy 16, and Tales of Arise, and I still got a whole backlog on PlayStation that I might not get to because I'm about the games on PC. Yeah. I ain't never gonna complete my backlog, dog. And I still gotta finish Trails of the Sky before the remaster come out for that. To be a JRPG fan, bro, is to never complete the backlog. We didn't choose this life, it chose us. It is what it is, man. But if y'all enjoy this type of content, we should hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. We're on the road to 4,000 subscribers, man. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. Y'all take care, man.